Hi, I'm Jillian. I'm the director of the Emancipation of Fanfiction.
And I'm Kelsey, and I'm the playwright and director of A Frog Talks to God.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your generous donations. Also, a huge thank you to the talented writers who submitted fan fiction for tonight's slideshow.
You're about to witness the debut of 2 new works of theater, but stick around after the show for a talk back with the teams of both of the shows.
And without further ado, please enjoy the Emancipation of Fanfiction and A Frog Talks to God.
Hey Shane, can I have some help?
Yeah, sure, what's up?
I think I have writer's block, or maybe I'm just not a good writer. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet.
Oh, come on, don't be so hard on yourself. What were you writing before you started having some trouble?
I don't know if I should tell you. It's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, then I don't need to know. Sorry if I asked about anything personal.
No, it's not anything personal. I'm writing a Twilight fan fiction.
Oh, wait, really? No way. Oh, right. Sorry. Listen, Kaylee. I love your writing. It's great. That one poem you wrote about hitting an old guy with your bike, it was super weird, but really good. So I guess I'm not surprised you try something like this, but I think fan fiction isn't a good idea right now. It's a writing competition.
Listen, I know what the event is. It would totally stick out from everything else, but I don't really want to write poetry or plays. They're so linear. That stuff makes me fall asleep, writing and watching them.
Well, what about my plays?
Yeah, sometimes.
Thanks. But for real, what's important is how committed you are to doing this. I mean, you go up on a mic and blurt out some Twilight fan fiction. I think the crowd is going to kill you. That's just my advice.
Yeah, you're right.
No problem. Out of curiosity, I guess, why are you writing that stuff? And why Twilight?
Shane, would you like to guess how much Twilight fan fiction I've written?
You know I hate guessing.
Right. Well, for years. It's my best go.
Okay.
I've been writing Team Jacob and Team Edward short stories since I was 11. I've been featured on multiple Twiblogs forum sites, even featured at a few contests a few years ago. Recently, I've been writing some heavier stuff. It gets more views.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, I guess honesty does go a long way, but Kaylee, we've been friends and writing partners since Winter's class. How come I never knew this about you?
Do you think I go around telling everyone that I'm one of the most prolific Twilight fanfiction writers of our time? Why in the hell would I do that? I'd rather jump off a roof.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. So you're committed to doing this, right?
Yeah,
All right, I can respect that.
how charming.
If you're committed to it, I'm here to support you. What do you need help with?
I need to write a scene in front of the whole school by tomorrow, and everyone is going to know it's from Twilight. It's going to be steamy, and there's going to be werewolves and vampires, and probably a lot of kissing. Are you following me?
I think so.
Great. So, with all that content, the whole school is going to kill me. I fucking hate Principal Gardner for making the whole school go to this event. They're just going to be on their phones the whole time.
Well, I mean, yeah, they don't give a shit about any of it. I mean, I don't want to tell you this, but if you're worried about what people are going to hear, I don't see why you can't just write about something else, right?
I can't write about anything else. It'll be terrible compared to what I write normally, and I have to win tomorrow. I know Twilight, in and out, the characters, the arcs, everything. It's what I do best. It just sucks that it's so weird.
I wouldn't call it weird.
Oh yeah? Then what would you call it?
I don't know. I haven't read any of the books.
Well, you're missing out. I don't know. The way they portray romance is just beautiful to me. It's fantasy, but it's real. And I love when romance takes risks. Like seeing a vampire on a screen and connecting to it romantically is cool. It might be weird, but it's special.
I'm not trying to get gross or anything, but my mom writes romance novels, so it's not weird. I just say it's different.
Your mom writes romance? That's so cool. Send me your email. I want to read it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, sorry. But she put a lot of time into it, so I know it means a lot to her.
When you do it right, you know that love can be pretty much anything. That's beautiful. It's the best thing I can submit to this competition, and I have to win. You know that award means so much to me.
The award? Oh, you mean the scholarship?
Yeah, the Berkeley one.
Huh. Actually, I thought you were just doing this for fun. You never told me about that.
Yeah, it's really important to me. It's basically my ticket to college, so it has to be perfect. Okay, I can't write about anything else because I could put hours and hours into a piece and people will call it gross because they don't understand how special it is to me and how beautiful it will be on stage. The one thing I'm good at is something I can never talk about. The one thing I'm good at, nobody is ever going to want to watch, ever. And I'm going to have to deal with that tomorrow. That just kills me inside. I just want to show art and love, but nobody cares. That's scary, Shane. What are you doing?
Giving you something to dry your tears. I was beginning to get worried you weren't going to stop crying.
Is this 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, my mom gave it to me a few years ago. I love the book. I'm rereading the whole series, actually.
Did you know that 50 Shades of Grey started out as a Twilight fan fiction?
No, I actually didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked out, but it did.
Yeah. Listen, Kaylee, you know what I think?
What?
Just forget about what I said before. I don't think you should give a shit about what they think.
Oh, come on. It'll tear me to pieces.
No. Just hear me out. I want you to go out there and write something crazy. I want scenes with werewolves making out in the woods. I want scenes with vampires shirtless, with dialogue so romantic it'll make the PTA moms divorce their husbands. And I know you can do it because everyone writes weird stuff. You write Twilight fan fiction. I read 50 Shades. My mom writes weird stuff. Somebody in the audience is going to be just as weird as you, and they're going to love it. Fuck what everyone else thinks. You got this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now go kick some ass. I've got to go home. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right. I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck. Oh, and thank you again. Hi, Mr. Winter.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for letting me use your classroom today. How are you?
Fine. And how are you?
Doing pretty good. Right now I'm prepping for the performance tomorrow. How's grading midterms?
Great. Same as it is every year, like with your class last year.
Well, if you need help grading papers, I could use some inspiration. I'm having some really heavy writer's block today.
Um, Miss Newberry, I can't let you grade papers. That would be a breach of the academic code.
Mr. Winter, could you please call me Kaylee?
Not until you graduate. No, I will not.
So, does that mean in 6 months I get to call you Robert?
No. I'm I'm sorry for being a little cold. I'm used to being in teacher mode all day. I'm trying to get better at being a little less. I can't think of the word. A little less.
Robotic?
Yes, exactly that. So, what are you writing about? Miss Newberry?
It's for the writing competition tomorrow.
Oh yeah, of course. You've already told me that. What about?
Um, well, I'm stuck on how to write about my favorite genre of literature for a very, very wide and diverse audience. And this audience may or may not be unfamiliar with the genre. Very unfamiliar.
And what genre is this?
Romance?
Romance. Why are you so nervous about romance? What kind of romance is it?
Mm, fan fiction. It's fan fiction.
Ah, makes sense. I I recall the comparative essay you wrote about the Scarlet Letter last year.
I'm sorry. What?
Well, I've always wanted to pretend this never happened, but instead of submitting an essay, you mistakenly turned in some of your romance. If I recall, the topic was an analysis of the relationship between two male characters. Yeah,
The relationship?
you wrote fan fiction about them falling in love.
Oh my god. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. That is so gross. Why did I do that? About my stuff. That is so weird. I am so sorry, Mr. Winter.
Calm down, Miss Newberry. It was an honest mistake. A misclick on the submission board, I'm assuming.
I'm so sorry. This is probably the weirdest day in my life. How many pages did you read?
I actually didn't read any. I had a female friend look it over.
You showed my work to someone else?
I know, but I wasn't comfortable touching it. I'm sorry. I'm your teacher. I, I didn't want to have this encounter last year, so I asked a friend what she thought, gave it a grade, and moved on. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassing you. I shouldn't have brought this up. It's giving you stress.
I mean, my whole world is breaking down, but it's okay. I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yes.
I knew bringing this up would be stressful. Please, take a deep breath.
I can't believe some random person read my stuff. What if it's another teacher I have? And this whole time they've been thinking I'm some Twilight weirdo.
They didn't. They thought it was pretty good. Let me find last year's files for your class. My friend had written their thoughts down on paper somewhere. Hey, Robbie. Not gonna lie, it was actually really freaking awesome. She laid down the characters really well and wrote some dialogue that seemed real. Used locations from the book in a cool way, and I'll be honest, it seemed almost romantic. Which is hard to do for the Scarlet Letter with two Puritan men in the 1640s. I gotta admit, the werewolves and vampires were a little weird at first, but then it makes sense after. It all blends into like a medieval witchcraft rom-com. She should probably get an A alone with the way she developed her story, with the passion. And the more intense scenes seem to counter the romance and stuff, which the actual novel uses as its main theme. Twilight fanfiction is pretty sweet. The romance was especially good. She has an active imagination.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I figured you must have submitted the wrong paper and not realized it, so I waited patiently for a resubmission and was given nothing. I also believed that alerting you of this issue would bring you stress that I'd read it, so I just posted its grade with no public corrections. I guess you truly do have some writing talent in the area.
I guess so. Thank you. Hearing all this coming from a teacher that I know, is very weird.
Well, on the bright side, you don't have to worry about writing for audiences that haven't seen it before, because you do that well enough already. You should be proud of yourself.
What do you mean?
Let me offer some advice. Be proud of what you write. Yes, but be loud about it too. I know that I'm a reserved teacher. I know that I rarely divulge on personal issues. I keep my boundaries and my thoughts tucked away as much as possible. That can be quite dangerous. I write so many papers and love the work I do, but I've shown it off to practically no one. You have to be loud about your work. It brings people to worlds of Twilight, of vampires and wood forests, certain romantic worlds that they can never be brought to on their own. And you have the power to bring that to them. You must bring out the parts about you and your creative writing that are unique. So sometimes that means being loud about something weird. And if you're proud or happy about something and never speak up about it, you'll fade away in silence. Let them know why your happiness and intrigue is worth their time. How good you are at what you do. And never let them think otherwise.
Mr. Winter, that was incredibly nice for you to say.
Yes, well, it needed to be said. I detest looking at people with prospective talent in writing who are embarrassed to even speak about what they enjoy the most. I am one of those people. I freeze at almost any opportunity, even when those things are right in front of me.
I can't believe I'm getting super deep with my old English teacher. This is a crazy day.
Indeed. I was wrong before. I'm glad I could have this conversation with you. Here, take this.
My essay?
With your topic matter, I wouldn't necessarily call it an essay. But yes, it's a gift.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'll see you at the performance tomorrow. I'll be in the audience. Until then.
Goodbye.
You're here late, Kaylee. What are you still doing here?
Just doing some writing for the competition tomorrow. I think it's gonna do pretty good.
That's great. What's it about?
It's Twilight fanfiction.
Well, it's good to have outlets about that kind of romantic stuff, or else you're just gonna hold in all those feelings inside and end up like one of those internet Reddit people I keep hearing about on TV.
You mean incels?
Yes, that's it. So what's happening in this story? I want to hear all about it.
You really want to hear it?
Hell yeah, I do.
I don't know, Jan. I've barely started writing. I want it to be perfect. The story can't be bad, and the intimate moments need to feel real.
You mean sex?
No, not sex. Oh my god, no! Intimate isn't like talking for the first time, like at a party or something. Being introduced to each other and making it special. That's the hard part.
Oh, well, that shit's easy. Vampires and werewolves meeting each other in fan fiction has about as much tension as a co-ed arts camp.
Okay.
Kaylee, come on. You really have no idea how real life relationships work?
Sure, with all the experience I've totally had in my life.
Well, fine. Let me demonstrate. So, pretend that the broom is the romantic interest, and pretend that I am a werewolf or a vampire. Doesn't really matter. All you have to know is that I am incredibly good looking. I turn heads. I'm built different. Use any sexy description words you want. The first step in making something intimate is the walk, okay? So you're gonna walk up slowly to Mr. Is this a Mr., Mrs., Max, or what?
It's a broomstick, Jan. I don't know.
All right, I'm just gonna say them. So you walk up real slow to them and you move your shoulders left and right in an exaggerated manner with style.
What?
You're moving with this like cool swagger, you know what I mean?
I have no idea what you mean.
Well, then watch me and you'll understand, all right? And don't laugh either.
Okay.
Promise?
I promise. I'm taking notes. Just go ahead already.
Okay. So like I said before, the first thing you got to do is take that walk up real slow and move those shoulders like you're pushing through 1,000 people just to get to one. You got to let them know that it's the you that they want. And the whole ass room has got to know that this sexy ass vampire or werewolf or whatever the fuck is going to be attending the most intimate encounter that they've ever had in their whole life. And I don't care if it's holding hands or kissing, whatever it is, they should know ahead of time that it won't be something that they will ever forget. So zero in on that moment. And then you give them a wink. Not a quick one, a long one. And you got to keep your mouth open a little when you do it. Try it for me. Maybe stick to the writing part.
Jan, this is hilarious, but I'm talking about like what they'll say to each other, what they're wearing, that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter what they're wearing. Nobody reading romantic novels or fan fiction or whatever really gives a shit about that. It's about what's underneath that counts. You got to go into full detail about what they look like. Are they smiling? Do they got smooth skin? That's where you should start with that. But you're right about focusing on what they'll say to each other. Just watch.
Fine.
So, you've done all the things I've said. You stare at them, but not in a creepy way. You want to stare at them like you're going to fall deep into their eyes and swim in them. And then you get close, like right up to their ear. And either way, it's your goal to let them know that you exist and that you want to know everything about how they exist. You want to know everything, every inch of their being. And then you open your mouth for the first time.
And what do you say?
You whisper really quietly that you and them are special, and the other person just doesn't know it yet. that you're going to introduce them to so many worlds unknown and feelings thought to be impossible and lives wished from dreams, that you are the best thing waiting to happen, a hypothetical waiting to happen, but it doesn't have to be. It can be real, and it can be hot, and it can be amazing. And everything that you are is perfect for them, and whatever they are and whenever they are, they're perfect for you too. And for all of that to happen, all they have to do is say yes and leave wherever you both are and begin a romantic journey, a lifelong and intimate journey that will end up being the best decision that they've ever made in their whole life. So, intimacy doesn't always mean romantic, it also means real livelihood, promises of happiness, good shit like that.
Jan, where did you learn all this stuff?
I didn't learn it from anyone. I made it up myself. That English teacher that works in this room, he's a pretty nice guy.
Wait, are you talking about Winters? Are you the one who read my fan fiction last year?
Guilty as charged. He called me, came to me when he needed me. Winters is a good guy. I've been cooking up some scenarios of my own about him, in my head at least, for a long time.
Gross, but cool. Maybe you should talk to him.
Maybe I will. But I'm worried he's too much of an organized, clean freak for me, though. And hell, I'm a high school janitor. He's really quiet, so I don't know if he's ever into our conversations or not.
He's really nice.
So is that theater boy of yours.
What? How do you know about that?
I know everything, Kaylee. Everything.
Okay. Stop trying to change the subject. Can you promise me you'll talk to Winter?
Why, you gonna write some fan fiction about it?
No, you just seem like you've been holding that in for a long time.
About a year now.
Seems really special too.
Yeah, it is.
Then do something about it.
Fine, I promise. Listen, I have to get to the next room, but I think if you need more practice, you could use this.
Why is everyone giving me stuff today? Wait, is it a school property? Can't you get in trouble for giving me this?
Who cares? I'll see you tomorrow, Kaylee. Have fun writing and stay real with your stories, kid.
I will, Jan. Thank you.
See ya.
Oh, shit!